Afromowitz. How you doing, man?
How are you?
Good.
You were actually the first to break that news. I'm not sure if you knew, but Kira Batara is injured, and she was supposed to face Elizabeth in the main event. So Brenda has stepped up on a week's notice, or less than that, to fight Elizabeth. So MMA Junkie Radio is breaking that news.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, in fact, this happened recently, right? I think just within the last maybe 72 hours. Is Kira going to be out extended, or is it a minor hiccup? Can we see her on an upcoming card soon?
No idea. I just, I mean, it doesn't sound like a serious injury. It sounds more like a strain from the doctor report I saw. But, you know, who knows? We'll have to look further into it. But it doesn't sound serious. It sounds, you know, like a strain.
You all have been making a splash, man. And that move to Univision, boy, those are some pretty solid numbers you guys are racking up.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's been, you know, a long road. And the industry in general is a roller coaster ride, but it's, you know, we set out, you know, in the beginning to, to take our product to, you know, a major platform like this, and it's finally come to fruition. So in a lot of ways, it's surreal. We started out, you know, on cable television, but we worked our way up to broadcast, and at the same time, we have, you know, a sports cable platform like you'll see, you can see Friday show on, as well as the following Friday show on. So, yeah, it's exciting times.
I know you all, as a group, you know, all the execs, all the fighters have always felt like you have a unique product there, concentrating on the Latin America market. But what have you heard from your partners at Univision? Were they shocked at that number? I'm sure they're pleased, but, you know, how receptive were they early on, and what do they think now that you guys have hit a couple out of the park?
I mean, you know, it seems like they're pleased. I don't want to speak for them, but it seems like they're very pleased. I'm not sure if they knew what to expect. Since it's the first time, you know, MMA has ever had live on this kind of platform, and MMA in general is, you know, it's still new to, you know, both the U.S., you know, Hispanic, Spanish-speaking market, as well as Latin America. I feel, you know, like one of our staff and I were talking. It's like, you know, we feel like MMA in the other territories as well as here amongst U.S. Hispanics is where MMA was around 2004, 2005, right before it exploded. So I think that, you know, to answer your question, I'm not sure anyone knew what really to expect. You know, we were hopeful, but at the same time, you know, they say in the TV business ratings, you know, disappoint, but, you know, thankfully they didn't disappoint this time.
Mike Afromowitz from Combate Americas joining us here on the hotline. They have a fight card coming up. Speaking of Combate Americas, Friday, May 11th. You can catch the fights on Univision Deportes Network, 12 a.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific. Now, Mike, just to be completely 100% sure here, the 12 a.m. Eastern, as in Friday, May 11th, is that Thursday night in Sacramento? I just want to make sure that on that technicality. Okay, so it is
Friday night.
It's Friday night. Okay, just making sure there, because it may.
No, it's live on both coasts.
Gotcha. Okay. Now there are free fights on the prelim bouts on Facebook. It's facebook.com/Combate Americas Official. That starts at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Now in the co-main event, you have Horacio the Punisher Gutierrez versus Chris Avila. I remember Avila from the Diaz camp. That's right. Okay. And then you also have Anthony the Shark Avila versus Jose Luis Verdugo, and that's the featured bout. All right, Goes, what do you have for Mike Afromowitz?
Mike, in the grand scheme of things, when you guys lay out your plans of what it is exactly you want to do, what stage would you say you guys are at in that big scheme of your plan?
Well, it's funny because the plans have actually changed. Good question, Goes, because originally when we started this, it was focused 100% on U.S. Hispanic. But since the opportunity came about last year to expand to Mexico with broadcast television, that plan has changed dramatically. The show succeeded right off the bat, or in the early stages when we launched on Azteca. You know, we averaged 3.5 million viewers last year for the weekly show, and these were taped shows; they weren't, live. And so the plans quickly changed, and there's Latin America and now Spain have become a big focus of our business. So it's hard to say. I'd say it's still early because of the how the plan has evolved over the course of the last 16 months. But I would say it's in the early stages. Given the new the new timeline, new big picture plan that we've put together.